Hello and welcome to another edition of my Become Unstoppable series. And as always, I have an amazing guest for you today, so I'm super excited to get started. So those who don't know me, I'm Julie Fitzpatrick and I'm the founder of Milliside Therapy and Coaching, and my passion is supporting all you beautiful men and women out there to unleash the power of who you really are and become unstoppable. So without any further ado, I am going to see if the internet and Instagram gods are with us today. So let's see if we can find our guest and Andrew E. Pierce appears. He's going to be an amazing guest today because he is a singer-songwriter, vocal coach. He is funny. He's very handsome, and he's going to be an amazing guest if the internet gods and Instagram gods are with us today. And so far, they are not. So I'm going to invite him again. Now, unfortunately, Instagram used to give me practice mode, but for some reason it doesn't work anymore. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. So excited.
How are you?
Hey!
Hey,
Well done. Well done. Good to see you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you, Julie. Good to see you too as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming. And I've been telling everyone that you're very handsome, you're very funny. So, you know, like no pressure, okay? No pressure.
No. Thanks.
So, Andrew, would you like to introduce yourself and let all our wonderful listeners and watchers, I don't know what the terminology is, and let them know who you are and what it is you do?
Hi, well, I'm Andrew E. Pierce. I'm a singer-songwriter and currently recording my album, but also vocal coaching as well. That's what I'm currently doing at the moment.
Amazing. Yeah. You're a man of many, many talents, aren't you?
You got to try, haven't you, Julie? You got to try. Got to try.
You got to try, love. I seem to be very wonky today. I can't seem to get myself straight.
Okay.
So, obviously, Andrew, as you know, before we get into the conversation, I would like, and so would all our wonderful viewers, love to know, what does being unstoppable mean to you?
Wow, that's a question. Unstoppable to me means overcoming obstacles, being focused and believing in yourself that you can achieve things if you just be consistent and put your mind to it. But mainly overcoming obstacles and believing in yourself. That's what it means to me.
Yeah, me too. Overcoming life's challenges, pushing through them. But I think really importantly, it's about learning from it all as well, isn't it? And taking on board the good, the bad, and using that to actually drive you forward.
Yeah, I mean, you can't predict what life is going to throw at you.
No.
Positive or negative. We don't know, do we?
We do not. No. We do not. No. And what I love about doing these Instagram lives now is I've always got lovely guests on here, but I've also got guests who are actually asking if their friends and people that they know can come on. So we've got Juana to thank for you being introduced to me.
Yes. Thank you so much for introducing myself to Julie. Thank you very much.
I feel like she's my agent because she's found me a few now, so that's quite good. But it's interesting because the Become Unstoppable series is getting a little bit of a name for itself. So who knows, one day you can say, I was on Julie's Instagram live when I'm rich and famous.
Yeah. That'd be great.
When I picked up my Oprah Winfrey or something like that, you know. But anyway, Andrew, so we know what you do now.
Yeah.
Okay? So what I always like to know and what I find really interesting is how did you end up doing what you're doing? You know, what would be your overview, if you like, of your story? What your ups and downs that have made you unstoppable? Because remember, I don't allow anyone on here who isn't truly unstoppable. So, and I already know you are because I've spoken to you before. Yeah. So where would you like to start?
I'll start with the fact that it's taken me a while to realise I am unstoppable. and how to become unstoppable. My history was brought up in the church, brought up a Christian, in the church, singing, always involved in music. Growing up in the church, getting more popularity with vocals, and then being very fortunate enough to be approached by a record label. First, it was an independent record label here in sunny Birmingham, and that lasted for about 2 years, which gave me the great opportunity to travel, see the world, record abroad in Switzerland, Germany, all over the world, USA. And then I was even more blessed enough to get a major record deal with Universal Polydor Records, Wildcard. And that's where it all started, really. That's where my music career really started, and my love for vocals and singing.
Wow. I mean, that's quite impressive on its own, isn't it? So where did that take you then? How kind of famous, how rich, I don't know, how did that take you in that grand scheme of things?
I wasn't rich, that's for sure. Not yet, anyway. But the thing was, it took me mainly I lived in London for quite a long time. Then I travelled around, for example, Switzerland, Germany, Holland, a lot around Europe, recording songs. Now, I had a record deal that they don't really do anymore, which was a development deal. So for the first 4 or 5 years of that development deal, I was just recording, developing my style, developing my brand, and that was something is absolutely priceless to have, because you can spend time, you know, financially you're sorted because they look after you, and that was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So that's really where it took me, and it helped me develop my brand. That's it, really.
So what happened then once that was all up and running? And
right, are you ready for this, Julie? Are you ready for this? That's when things changed a lot.
I had a feeling you might say that.
Here's the unstoppable part. This way it began. It was whilst I was recording for my album, I was with a band called Love Field. I was the lead singer in that band, and my manager, my music manager, spotted something on my neck as I was doing the video. As I would turn, he spotted something, and I wasn't aware it was there, but it was a lump. So I think subconsciously he knew what it was, but he didn't want to worry me or scare me. So he just told me the minute I get back to the UK, I need to visit doctors. And lo and behold, it turned out to be a cancerous tumour. It was a lymphoma, it was leukemia, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So that was right in the middle of my career, right in the middle of me having some of the best times of my life. I got hit with cancer.
Wow.
The record label were fantastic. They supported me through it. I recorded through it. I still carried on, didn't stop. Took periods off for operations and surgery and chemotherapy and whatever else, but I still continued. And that's when things changed dramatically at that point with my health.
Okay. So what happened then? So things changed?
Yeah, it affected my vocals, because I don't know if any of the listeners have gone through cancer or having any kind of treatment, but it does weaken the immune system, as you know. But I didn't realise it affected my voice, particularly the falsetto range. So I couldn't do what I wanted to do vocally. Now, I'm coming from a Pentecostal gospel background, so the big voice, the big vocals, but I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. So it affected me because I couldn't be the person I wanted to be. I couldn't be the artist I wanted to be. Subsequently, after releasing the album, we did release the album, the record deal came to an abrupt end. And that was after 10 years of being with this record label and releasing the album. So that was a shock for a young 26-year-old, 26 at the time. It was really a big shock to my mental health.
I bet.
Oh, yeah.
So there you were, getting over illness.
Yeah.
You know, serious illness.
Yeah. Slightly paranoid that it may come back.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And then you spent all that time nurturing that relationship, nurturing your career for it just to be overnight just taken away from you.
And it was literally, yes, it was literally overnight. In fact, it was over an afternoon. I got the phone call to say, this record deal is void. That's it. End. And
So
that's
did they ever say why, or was it just one? I suppose they don't have to, do they?
they don't have to. I have no idea why. I think there were other complications going on that I wasn't aware of behind the scenes. Because
Wow.
I myself did produce what they asked me to produce, which was the album. Out there, by the way, it's still out there. It's been released. You can still buy that on and listen to it on streaming on YouTube or.
Drop the name in. Love. Feel free to drop the name in.
Shall I drop the name? It's called Love Field Vivid. Love Field Vivid is the name of the album. Myself and Norma Levine worked on that. But I've no idea up to this day. And I think that was one of the things that caused a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah.
Because you never quite knew why it ended. But the industry is brutal. I mean, there are thousands of artists and musicians that are signed to record labels, and they don't even last this long. And I was 10 years. I was very blessed to have 10 years. So for that.
But like you say, though, your mental health side of it would have knocked you for six, because you're actually kind of, you're grieving now, right? So you were grieving for your old life, your voice, grieving for your voice, because that's gone.
Yeah.
Grieving for the career that you always wanted to and was destined to do, and then there you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. From the age of 18, that's all I had done. From 18 to 26, so I did my A-levels, because I'm quite clever as well, believe it or not. Yeah. I did A-levels, finished my A-levels, and then I was straight to music. And that's so for that to end in my mid-20s was quite a big thing.
Yeah.
I had good friends around me, I had family around me, so that was really helpful. But it did take a toll in ways I hadn't realised until much later on.
Yeah, I bet.
Effects. Yeah.
So do you think that at the time you kind of really released it, like released the feelings and emotions from your body, or do you feel that you probably kept it stored inside?
I think a lot of it I kept inside. I'm the type of person that will soldier on. You know, I left music when that ended. Sorry, I went into teaching. I had English and did a postgrad in it, so I went into teaching for quite a few years. So I thought, right, this part of my life is over. Let's compartmentalize it and let's move on and have a new career. And I did enjoy teaching, but my passion, without a doubt, has always been for music and performing and giving a message of hope, healing. My faith has a big part to play in that as well. Yeah. So, as I did.
So, in terms of the, like, the releasing and thing, because this is, you're not unusual in this, right? Most of us, unless we're kind of blessed with knowing about this stuff, and if I'm honest, I'm only just finding out it now in the last couple of years when I've kind of changed my career and learning all about the mind, learning all about, you know, the psychological and physical conditions. And this is what I'm learning, and have worked with clients as well with physical conditions.
Yeah.
Because if we don't release, if we don't release the feelings and emotions, then we're going to store them. And we store them in our body, either as psychological or physical or both, if you're unlucky.
Yeah. Without, I mean,
sorry.
Yeah, let's fix our cameras. Fixing mine too. Is that better?
That's fine. I think I feel like I'm a bit wonky today. I don't know why.
You look on this side. Yeah. Well, yeah. Where were we? Yeah, you were saying that we can bottle things in, and there's a scripture that I can think of in the Bible that talks about. It says, "Cast your cares on God because He cares for you." I don't think we're meant to hold things in. No, we're not meant to hold all these and traumas in. We are meant to find a way to release them, because I think it can cause psychological, emotional, physical harm.
Absolutely, 100%. You know, and different physical conditions are as a result of our stress, our overwhelm, and holding holding trauma in our
Yeah.
body, and it's so important to release it, but most of us don't know how to do that. And that's how I work with my clients now. It's not just dealing with the psychological side of things, which I do and get an amazing result from it, but I can also do that with some physical conditions as well, because it's the same. Once you understand it and know where it's come from, and we identify it, basically remove it,
Yeah.
and then you can sort of like free yourself from a lot of this, a lot of these physical and psychological, obviously, conditions.
Yeah.
But just as a buy. So okay, so let's get back to your career then. So now you're a teacher.
Yes.
In did you say it was in English?
Yes. I was a teacher because what happened during lockdown was I had a major rethink because of other health issues about where I want to be in a few years, and I'm no longer teaching at the moment. And that was 19 years of teaching. 19 years. Yeah. But I was teaching. I still love working with children, mind you, and I think I will eventually do that at some point again. Yeah.
So where are you right now then? I mean, in terms of your voice,
Right.
has that all come back? How it should
Yeah.
be?
Yay! The voice is back. Healthy. Yeah, I know. Looking after myself, being thankful, being gratitude. I'm in such a place of gratitude at the moment. The voice is back. It's better than ever, Julie. It's better than ever. I'm in the studio trying to record. I'm still going through some health issues, which I'm dealing with, and which means I can't do as much as I'd like to at the moment. But I can write. I can write from home, and I think my lyric writing, songwriting is just so much more profound and impactful and poignant now because I've lived the experiences. I've lived the highs in LA, on Venice Beach, or in Switzerland, in Zurich. I know. Ooh, look at me, eh? Look at me, eh? I've lived the lows. I've come to the lows. You know, I've had health issues. I've had death in my family. I've had quite a lot of serious things, you know, lost my parents, both have gone, which is so sad. But it's, as you said, it's about being unstoppable. And where I am now, I'm at the point where I believe and I've got faith that I'm on the up again. I've released some singles and I'm hoping that it will take me to more heights,
What would you say your true visions are now then? If you could, have anything you wanted and this was a magic wand, what would you wish for to the universe right now?
Right. This is what I wish for to God. This is simple. And a lot of it's happening already. I'm actually completing my album. I want to release the album. My album is all about sending out positive vibes. My music is about helping people to heal, to tap that side of them, and just to be aware that there is hope. No matter how dark things get, there is hope. You may not feel it, you may not see it, but you've got to have faith in there's hope. And I'm a living testimony of that you can come out the other end. I'm not saying there's not going to be problems or obstacles, but you can be victorious. And that's my...
And Carol's saying here, awesomely inspired lyrics, which Andrew is blessed with.
Oh, hi, Carol. Who's Carol? Hi. Glad you could drop in. I hope I'm making you proud, Carol.
I'm sure you are, darling. I'm sure you are. I don't always speak out on what's coming up in the comments because I lose concentration. So if anyone does put a comment and I ignore you, it's not me being rude. It's just that I can't multitask. We pretend we can, but we can't. Yeah. And then I'll be going, oh my God, what did he just say? How do I need to respond? Because I'm too busy tapping away. But no, I've done the same thing now. I put myself right off. But I think what's important in all of this is that when you have on multiple times had almost doors closed in your face, literally, whether it be your health, whether it be recording deals, you've always come back, haven't you? You've always come back. And would you say you've come back stronger?
Oh, yes, Julie. I sound like the church advert now, don't it? Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did then. Sorry, I'm sorry. I have come back strong, and I've come back with a sense of humour. I've come back hopeful. I've come back knowing that things will work out for my good.
Is there anything in your life then that you, if you could change, is there anything you would change, or do you think you would be okay with what's happened? It's a tricky one, isn't it?
Questions. I think if we were all honest, we wouldn't want to have gone through hard times. I mean, who does want to go through hard times? And whether it be illness or mental illness or issues, financial issues, whatever it may be. However, I'm a firm believer in that sometimes we have to go through these difficult times and trials in order to become who we are today. And I'm a firm believer that I would not be so determined and unstoppable if I'd not been through what I've been through. Yeah.
And that's very key, isn't it? It's about the experiences that we go through that does make us who we are.
Yeah.
I'm kind of going through a bit of a funny kind of phase in my life right now as well. Not funny, haha, but because December last year was when I quit my corporate life for 35 years to be 100% focused on my therapy and coaching business.
Big move.
Big move, right?
Yeah.
Big responsibilities, big, having to financially support myself from doing something I love, which, as you can probably vouch for, that isn't always as easy to do, is it? I'm not saying we can't do it, we will do it, and I know I'm going to be I am hugely successful, but I'm going to be even more successful going forward, right? But I would say I've gone through quite a lot of change in this last year because I'm doing something completely different. I'm not caught up in that corporate world where it's do. I'm a robot, get up, eat, sleep, shit, repeat,
Yeah.
Whereas, don't get me wrong, I'm still very, very doughy, and I've got lots because when you become a business owner, there's all these roles
Everything.
that like I never even knew I needed to be.
Yeah.
Never know, whether I could do them or not.
Yeah.
So it's busy in that sense, but I'm also continuing with my therapy training. So in my therapy training, Rise and Shine Academy with Philippa and Bertie, who I adore.
Yeah.
And tomorrow I'm off to spend a couple of days with them and some of my other fabulous people in the group.
Excellent.
But I've been learning how to embody myself, because I kind of did some work on myself before to get in the position where I am now, where I uncovered my limited beliefs, which I wasn't good enough.
Right.
Which meant that I lacked confidence. Now, I never came across that I didn't have confidence, but it did keep me small in my life, and it kept me average and all that kind of stuff, right? Until I uncovered that a couple of years ago, then that's when I truly become unstoppable, right? Because I then felt more confident. I put myself out there. I mean, I would never be doing these for a start. I won an award. I've been in a book. I'm writing another book, although I haven't done much of it. But and going through a whole transition, and then of course I lost my beautiful Luther in May, which flattens me. And yesterday would have been his birthday, so that flattened. Yesterday I was a complete basket case. But with all of that, it's been teaching me so much. I've learned so much about myself in this last year, and working more and more with my clients, because obviously I can service more people now, whereas when I was working full time I could only do a little bit here and there. But now I can embody the whole thing and embody this life that I've chosen, and I absolutely love it. But I've been looking at my niche and who's my target audience and all that kind of stuff.
Who's your tribe? Who's your tribe?
Yeah. Who's my tribe? And I've kind of been round and gone round a few circles, but what I'm realizing now is they have to be people that resonate with me. So all my avatar, if you like, pretty much has to be me, because people want to see, if I was like you, this is what I did, this is how I become unstoppable, this is what I'm doing now, this is the life that I'm living. And it's about but it takes a while, doesn't it? It's all my life experiences. I'm trying to weed through them and going, okay, how did I end up doing this? What am I doing this for? What's my why? And it's really good to do that, because it jolts us into
Yeah.
thinking about things again, doesn't
And I
it?
think a lot of what you're doing is you're working in your purpose right now. And it does take a while to get to that
Yeah,
point. And it's never linear either. It's not just one straight line.
it's
You get
not.
downs and you feel like you go back a bit, then you move forward a leap. But it's linear. But I think it's so important. And why did it take me so long to realise it? I don't know. But this is meant to be. But it's so important that you work within your purpose. We've all got things we need to achieve and things that are innate to us in our souls, and we've got to do the best we can in some way to follow purpose and vision. I mean,
Absolutely.
saying, and I'm really sorry to hear about your loss. I didn't realise you had a loss. I'm really sorry to hear about that, and respect your strength. I really do. I really do. You were saying you lost confidence. With me, it wasn't confidence. I've always been confident because I can stand on a stage and perform in front of thousands. With me, it was self-esteem. With all the the hiccups and hardships and difficulties and comments that people may have made in the past, planted that seed of lacking self-esteem, and that's what I had to grow with. I had to return back to learning how to love myself. I don't mean love myself, but I just mean
Love myself.
love myself. I just mean learning to know what I have, the strengths I have, the God in me, and that's where I've come through the other end, and that's what I've had to struggle with and work with. But I'm coming out the other end, and I'm getting there. So
Yeah, same as me. And I
yeah,
think that's what's lovely for people to see and hear as well, isn't it? That of course we all go through our own troubles, our own traumas,
yeah,
but it's about how we come out of it at the other end.
yes,
But what I'm learning in this whole journey of teaching my clients as well is it's about going back to basics though. It's about going back to looking after yourself,
yes,
and it starts with you, doesn't it? You know, the old analogy with the plane, putting the mask on.
yeah.
That's such a good analogy. I know that's not an analogy because it's what they do in real life. But when you think about it in our personal
Yeah,
lives, I just think that is absolutely spot on. And I use that all the time because it really does. It 100%. If you don't look after yourself, you can't be strong and look after everybody else, can you?
you can't. It's about self-care, isn't it? Self-care. And I I was thrown into it because I got very ill during COVID and I was on the high risk category. So I had to stay home. And that for me, however terrible COVID was, that one spark of hope or joy I got from that old period was I had to spend time with myself.
Mm.
I had to do a bit of delving and a bit of honesty. And you probably know more about this than me because of the role that you do. I'll be coming one day, by the way, for some help.
You're
Yeah,
more than welcome.
yeah. You have to do a lot of delving into yourself and realizing where your strengths are, wherever they are. And I had that period to really begin the process. And that's when I wrote my first song
Nice.
called Giving Well. And it back off, wow, I'm starting to know who I am again. I'm not just the teacher. I'm not just this. I'm not just that. But there's a whole spectrum to me. But at
Yeah.
the core of it, you've got to know who you are. And that takes time.
And I think that's an important point you make there because it is about finding who we truly are. And I think so many of us, male or female, we spend our lives being this person that we ended up being that person and we don't really know how we ended up being that person. But then suddenly you're not really the person you want to be. And that was exactly what happened to me because I spent my whole life being like the breadwinner. I looked after everybody else. I had a good job, you
Yeah.
know, I was earning good money. And then you get caught up in it, don't you? And you're on that treadmill that you can't get off.
You
And
get pulled along with life. You get pulled along before you know it. You're somewhere you didn't think you would be. Or
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And like you in COVID, and you know, not you know, who anyone who lost anyone and anything terrible happened.
yeah.
Obviously, we're not belittling that
No,
experience at all because it was horrendous. Let's be honest. I mean, mental health wise, has gone through the roof, hasn't it?
absolutely. I lost friends.
However, for me, I thought it was horrendous for me to start with because during that one of the lockdowns, I got made redundant quite unexpectedly, and I was like furious to start with
Right.
for about 5 minutes, and then but that gave me my, once I got over the panic of
Yeah.
what am I going to do, it was like, no, this is what you're going to do, Julie. You're going to actually, for the first time in your 50 odd years, are going to go and do something that you want to do for a change. So that's when I started to do it. But I had to go back to work because, unfortunately, changing and transforming your life doesn't happen overnight.
You've got to be realistic about it, and that change may be a gradual thing. It doesn't happen overnight. You need to work for a period of time before you switch. But it's a gradual thing, isn't it?
It is a gradual thing. But what I did do, though, was I changed my mindset around it.
Mm-hmm.
And although I was annoyed that I had to go back to work, because I didn't really want to do that, because I checked out of that life probably a couple of years prior to that, with the old menopause as well, you know, like a bit Fruit Loopy. But I'd already checked out. But because I knew, do you know what? I've got my eye on something different now. I've got myself an idea of who I want to be. Well, I probably didn't know who I wanted to be, but I knew what I wanted to be doing because I did train as a counsellor years ago. So I always had that, you know, helping people thing in me, if you like. And I was always coaching everybody at work. I was running charity things. I was doing this. I was always the go-to person for the mental health things. And so I've always been that type of person, the carer, if you like.
That's your gift. Yeah. That's your gift.
Yeah.
That's already been innately inside of you.
Yeah. It is actually. Funny enough, when I've done work on myself, one of those questions was like, you have to go back inside yourself really and find where that came from, and then you normally find that you've always been like that.
Yeah.
Interestingly, Marissa Peer, who I did my rapid transformation therapy with, she's always said that there's 4 types. You've got a carer, the sick one, then the naughty one, if you like, and the perfect one. So if there's like 4 kids in the family, you can guarantee that they'll all have one of those roles.
Those characters.
Yeah. But I mean, I've got 2 sisters, but I definitely was the carer.
Yeah.
There was a naughty one in there, and then I'm not sure about the other one. But and you take on these roles. You don't know you're taking them on, obviously, but you kind of end up doing that. And I guess that was my role. And even in my family now, I'm like the one who, if there's a bit of a crisis, I'm the one who's in there going, all right, let's sort it out. Let's, you know. And
you're the organizer as well.
Which I was a project manager in my other life as well, not surprisingly. But funny enough, I can't manage myself out of a paper bag.
Oh, but, you can. Yeah, I know you can.
but the point being, it's kind of, I suppose we kind of have we're sort of destined to do things, but we have to make that conscious decision that we deserve to find our purpose and passion. We deserve to become unstoppable, and it is our innate right, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think.
And there's a saying which someone said to me once, and it's quite sad, really, because a lot of people don't step into their destiny and vision because of life. And for some people, it's understandable because things happen, and this life isn't easy.
No.
But instead, where is the most valuable place on this planet? Where the most value lies? Where do you think that is? Any idea?
In yourself? No.
What
was the answer?
In a graveyard. Because there's so much people that have left this earth without fulfilling their potential. Cures for this, professional medics, people with minds, scientific minds.
Oh, wow.
The grave without ever tapping into their true potential. And we are not going to be one of those, are we, Julie?
Bloody not. Well, we've already superseded that anyway, right?
Yes.
We are already unstoppable.
Yes.
But it's the other people in this world who don't feel that they are that we need to bring back up.
Yes, and that's part of my role. I need to help heal people. That's what I know.
How do you feel that you help people through people listening to your music, dancing to your music, bit of both, or
whatever means they feel most natural to do? For example, through my lyrics, the lyrics are quite healing. My voice, I think my voice is blessed. I think I've got quite an anointed voice to sing, and I've always believed that. If you feel to dance to my music, move to my music, just relax, meditate to the lyrics, whatever way it may be. That's the spirit I give out in my music.
I love
that's
that. Yeah. And some of the things we do in our training is about learning different embodiment techniques.
Yeah.
And one of the most obvious one is dancing.
Really?
It raises your dopamine levels, but it's also a way of like releasing your body. So this is a top tip for anyone out there. If you're feeling like a little bit stressed and overwhelmed, right, go and take yourself in a room no one can see you if you want to, but if you're happy for people to see you, go for it. Find your favourite song. Find one of Andrew's songs.
Yeah.
Hike it up and you just dance your socks off, right? And I can guarantee you will feel so much better afterwards because you've released it, and getting the movement in your body is so healing.
Yes. I've been working with a friend of mine, Lucy Blanco, and she specialises in that. Maybe you should introduce you to each other, actually. She does a lot of that. She talks about how movement can be so healing and therapeutic. But there's so much we need to tap into, and which will help with well-being and help with our health, definitely.
Yeah. And this is the thing, rather than, you know, if we were after a dopamine hit or something, you know, something like that, rather than go and do something unhealthy like have a glass of wine, I'm not knocking that, I mean I do like a glass of wine, but you know what I mean, rather than do something destructive like go and eat a cream cake when you probably don't really want it but you just want that hit, right, go and dance instead. Go and sing,
positive.
Go and dance, go and jump, go and do some exercise, do something physical.
Walk.
And you're getting all of that in your body, but you're also got the advantage of it, you're releasing out of your body as well.
And that's what I get through singing. I get a massive release.
I bet.
Performing and singing in my house. I apologise now to my neighbours. No, they're great. I've got great neighbours. But yeah, that's my way of releasing as well. And
I sadly wasn't blessed with a singing voice.
Oh. But you're blessed with other things. You've got other giftings.
Exactly. We can't be good at everything, right?
Yeah, we can't have everything. I mean...
Yeah, singing isn't my forte. I don't play any musical instruments either. I have tried when I was younger, but yeah, I mean, who knows? That was the old me. Who knows what the new me is? But yeah, singing isn't my thing. Doesn't mean I like trying, but it's normally when there's no one around.
YouTube site, I do some vocal tips on there. You never know, you might tap into something there.
No, it might have matured, mightn't it? It might have matured over the years.
There you go. There you go.
The inner Julie is coming out.
The vocal.
No, I do. On a serious note, though, music is such an amazing tool, anyway, isn't it? Whether you're listening to it, doing it yourself, playing an instrument, you know, I think it is an amazing invention, really.
It's something it's something that is so universal. I mean, there must be very, very few people that don't like music in some form or some shape, whether it's or actual music itself or classic, gospel or jazz. There's some people like some form of music, the universal thing, and that's why I feel so gifted to be the gift of singing and to write. I love it, Julie.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, and I have listened to a couple of your songs actually, and they're really, really beautiful.
Thank you.
And you have got a really lovely voice, and I would recommend everyone goes and checks you out. Actually, on that note, pardon the pun, do you want to tell them how they can find you?
Yes, you can find me on Spotify, Andrew E. Pierce, or YouTube with the same name, Andrew E. Pierce, or Instagram. I've forgotten the exact.
Yeah, it's Andrew E. Pierce 9786.
You are a star, Julie. And I'm on Twitter, which is Affirmation2, and I'm also on TikTok, which is I'm Andrew Pierce, Andrew E. Pierce on TikTok. I'm everywhere. I'm really getting techie and savvy. I'm getting there.
Good. And what will happen actually, Andrew Savvy, I will give you a recording of this as well, so you can go and do whatever you want to do with it, but it will go up on my YouTube channel in a few days as well.
Perfect.
And obviously it'll be able to, I'll upload it into Instagram once we've finished as well. So the whole interview will be there. But if anyone wants to go over to Millerside Therapy and Coaching on YouTube, you will find all my Become Unstoppable interviews. Plus, there's quite a few client testimonial interviews. So where my beautiful clients have come on and done an interview just like this. And I've got some short video clips as well that they've recorded for me about working with me and the results that they've achieved. And I'm starting to put some educational stuff on there as well. I've only had it a short while, so I'm building it. But I'd love you all to go over there. Please like and subscribe, because I haven't got many subscribers currently. Just get it out there, really. And it's just another way to find them really, really easily. And I find that useful, actually, when I do get clients who want to come and work with me. I just send them over there, go and have a look at that, and then it's all in one place.
Yeah. Do subscribe, people, because I've checked it out and there's some amazing testimonials there. So I'm coming to you, Julie.
Thank you, darling. Anytime, my lovely, anytime. So I guess we ought to kind of wrap that up now, because we're running out of time. But is there anything else you would like just to add before we go?
Just to let people know that if I've got it in me to be unstoppable, then so have you. Just give yourself time, be kind to yourself, and be patient with yourself, and think positive things. Whatever is good, whatever is wholesome, whatever is pure, think on these things and work your way up to being the people that you're called to be. And that's really it. Be unstoppable.
I love that. And I totally agree with everything you just said there. And it is about trusting where you are. Because we can all get quite critical of, and I've done it myself, even the other day.
Yeah.
I was getting really annoyed with myself that maybe if I'd stuck with my original niche, I would be financially more secure, you know, and all this kind of, and it's like, no, because I've gone on the journey to be on the journey, and it will be what it will be. But what I've learned is I need to trust here, trust my heart, trust my intuition, and trust that whether it be the universe, God, or whatever everyone wants to follow, that as long as you are true to yourself and you are loving yourself and putting out that high level vibration, then that is what you're going to attract. But unfortunately, if we're on doom and gloom city, then we are going to attract more doom and gloom. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. Right?
Raise vibrations, vibrations, think positively, and you will attract that. That's kind of a law. That's kind of a law of life. Right?
So they can start that by going and listening to some of your healing songs, can't they? So go over to your YouTube and then pop along to my YouTube.
Yeah.
Then they've got everything they need, right?
Yeah.
At their fingertips.
Yeah.
But anyway, my darling, thank you so much. It's been a complete joy having you on here, and maybe you can come back again. Maybe I should have a few people all at once who have been on my series, but please do refer me to any other people that you think are truly unstoppable. And that goes for anyone watching this as well. If you've got a story, or you know of someone who you think is truly unstoppable and you would like to see them on here, then by all means contact me and we can see if we can make that happen.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Julie. It's been great.
Oh, brilliant. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we've had some thank yous on here as well. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time with another amazing guest on my Become Unstoppable series. Thank you for watching. Love you all. Bye. Bye.